What's up, blockheads? Out for a ride today. And today I'm going to be doing my first thoughts and impressions over a recent video that I did, recent install that I did, which is the Memphis Shades Road Warrior fairing, which I've already got a bug on there. Alright, my first bug. Oh man, I have no idea where I'm going, but that's the joy of riding a motorcycle, right? I mean, getting lost. What road is that? Anyways, yeah, so I just recently installed this Memphis Shades Road Warrior fairing on the bike because, as you all know, I'm going for that more like kind of club style. But not so much club style. It's like that's not my focus. I mean, we totally made it out club style. But my focus was mainly to make this bike a better distance commuter. So, you know, like with the research that I did into getting a new bike, you know, I wanted something that I'd be able to do distance better on to alleviate putting mileage on my truck. Because my truck, after I, you know, did a lift and put some new wheels and tires on it, it basically took the gas mileage down to about 13 miles per gallon, which is pretty garbage. And I drive a pretty decent ways to go to work during the week, and they've actually required me to start coming in more often, and so that's whenever the quest for being able to get like a better bike that'll do distance started. And if you guys want to go watch that whole process, you can go watch through the whole process of me basically test riding bikes. I did a lot of test rides on touring bikes. Ended up settling on the Softail platform because, you know, I can throw a sissy bar on it, which I have. Funny. One of the big focuses was keeping the wind off of me, right? What better way to do that than to add a fairing to a bike, right? I ended up going with, I forget the height of this windshield. I want to say it's like an 11-inch. I'll post up down in the description below links to everything if you guys are interested in getting any of it. Oh, also this episode, before we get too far into it, brought to you all in part by Memphis Shades. They are one of the partners of the channel. They're really active on social media, so you guys be sure to go check them out on like Instagram. Yeah, I went with the Road Warrior. Had to wait for a little bit because they actually came out with a kit specifically for the 2020 Low Rider S. And that kit basically, they came out with a shroud for the headlight, and they came out with a new extension bracket for the headlight because of the way that it had to be positioned. Now, this is actually my first time riding with the fairing. My initial thoughts and feedback, I'm actually going to take it on the interstate. Sorry. Yeah, I'm actually going to take it on the interstate or a highway so we can get like the full effect of how it performs, I guess, at those speeds, because, you know, those are the speeds that I bought it for. But these speeds, you know, back roads and such, I mean, I can totally feel, obviously, that it's keeping a ton of wind off of me. However, there's something that kind of surprised me. It's like I'm feeling more wind from down here. So there's basically like kind of like I guess when it pushes the wind off, the wind kind of comes around. I don't know if it's like from, I don't know the way the tank is or what, but the wind comes around it and then it kind of blows upwards, like right here. Like the wind is totally blowing upwards right here. Which is funny because I was riding with Reese not too long ago and he's got a fairing on his. I think he's got a Connolly. And we were sitting there riding and his shirt started blowing up. I've actually heard that from a couple people whenever they put a fairing on their bike, that it tends to, like, if the wind gets, you know, below your shirt, it tends to blow your shirt up, like, up to your neck. But yeah, so I was kind of surprised by that. We did throw a Plex in it, Plex audio kit. I'll be doing a review video on that later. The fairing, I freaking love it. Like the look and the style of it looks great. It's got these like quick release trigger kind of connections right here on the side. Now once I put a Plex in it, it was kind of loose, and so I actually threw a zip tie on each side just to kind of reinforce it a little bit, but you can't even see those. It's a pretty easy install, pretty straightforward thus far. Like I said, this is my first ride with this, but I'm liking it. I'm liking it so far. Man, my arm feels so naked right here. I just got this tattoo and they like shave you, so it's like all this hair is gone. You guys will have to let me know what you think in terms of like line of sight, because I'm thinking based on the camera angle, y'all are probably looking through this windshield pretty good, and I don't know if I'm a fan of that at all. I guess I'll see during editing, but you guys let me know your thoughts. I'm probably gonna have to go a little lower with the windshield just because of the GoPro camera. Like for me, for my eye level, it's pretty good. So I guess they say that you're supposed to have the windshield at a height that you are basically looking over the top of it. You don't actually want to be looking through it. I'm looking over the top of it, but since my camera, since the GoPro mounted on my helmet is a little below my eye level, I imagine it is probably maybe right in the middle of where you guys are seeing. Like this would be like my eye level normally. All right, let's take it on some highway, see how it feels. Oh man, that's incredible. Just this, oh, there's such a difference. Dude, this is gonna totally change riding distance on this thing for sure. Let me back off of this semi a little bit just so we can like legit kind of feel it. Yeah, so like with this windshield, like the air is basically here. It goes right over the top of my helmet. So it basically starts like right here. And I mean, it's going up and over, right? So it's like, it is just over the top of my helmet. If I sit up a little bit more, man, I can't even really feel it if I sit up a little more. That's crazy. That is such a huge difference. Hell yes, Memphis Shades. That's what I'm talking about. That's gonna change my distance riding game for sure. Wow, I'm actually, I don't know. I mean, so I've been riding this bike for a while. I've got like 2,168 miles on it. So I've got a, ooh, locking up them brakes, dog, damn. Yeah, I've got a decent amount of miles on it, especially without the fairing on there. Yeah, so in that mileage, in 2,000 plus miles, I've developed a feel for dealing with the wind, and this bike did have, you know, the fairing on it that came from the factory. What do they call it? I don't think they even call it like a fairing. They call it like a speed screen or something like that. I had that, so I got accustomed to that. So like just taking it on this run, I mean, that's the first time I've had it at those speeds. Such a huge difference. Let's do it again. I can look to my side now. So beforehand, whenever I would look to the side like that, the wind would catch my helmet and it would actually push it back more. It doesn't do that anymore. It's really nice. I'm a fan. So I'll end up doing a follow-up review on it, but if you guys want to check any of this stuff out, be sure to check the links down in the description below. If you're interested in scooping one up. As of right now, I'm putting my stamp of approval on it. I'm gonna have to experiment with a couple different like windshield height levels. Like some speeds I am getting a little bit of buffeting, but then if I slow it down a little bit I don't get any at all, which makes sense. I mean, based on, you know, air resistance, I guess. I don't know, I'm not an aerologist. So anyways, that's my thoughts. If you guys have any questions, drop them below. I'll answer to the best of my knowledge. Big shout out to Memphis Shades. If you guys enjoyed the video, be sure to hit the like button. If you're not subscribed already, hit that subscribe, hit that bell icon so it sends you notifications for future uploads and activity. Until next time, ride safe, stay vigilant, keep the wind off you. Catch you guys in the next one. Peace.